I'm ready to walk away. I probably said, you could ask all the neighbors that were there. I said at least 4 or 5 times.
A violent fight in Northport leaves 2 women in the hospital and police shocked. We'll hear from one of the women involved. Plus, red tide is back on the Suncoast. We'll show you which beaches to steer clear of. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Beachgoers are once again feeling the effects of red tide. Higher concentrations of the toxic algae are impacting different beaches up and down the Suncoast. But at the moment, it's not as significant as it was several months ago. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live in the studio with more on what people are seeing and smelling. Rick?
Yeah, Taylor, good evening. Some beaches have been doing a little better than others. Red tide continues to plague us. It's a nuisance people were hopeful was gone, but red tide is still lingering here on the Suncoast, especially over the last week.
When you come to the beach, the water is no longer blue or green, it's brown, and you know that something's wrong.
The Florida Wildlife Commission says there are higher concentrations of red tide at beaches along the Suncoast. Because of the patchy nature of red tide, some beaches are worse off than others in Sarasota and Manatee counties, but it has improved in certain areas over the last few days. On Lido Beach, reports indicated this was one of the clearer beaches for people to enjoy, but some dead fish and conch shells could still be spotted along the shoreline, and the smell had some beachgoers coughing and dealing with respiratory issues.
We feel like it's risky just coming to the beach, but I warned my boys they can stay on the sand and maybe put their toes in, but that's it.
Red tide has forced the cancellation of Paddle Fest as part of the Waterfest celebration this weekend in Inglewood Beach. Despite the traces of red tide at Siesta Beach, the popular Crystal Classic sand sculpting event still has the green light. For many people, they aren't letting the red tide keep them from enjoying the beach.
Unfortunately, every now and then I cough, but it's still beautiful.
And for the latest information on red tide, you can log on to our website at mysuncoast.com. Taylor, back to you.
Thank you. Here now, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with your first alert forecast. Hey, Bob.
Hey, what's going on, Taylor? I'll tell you what, our current conditions right now, summer-like. Greetings here along the Suncoast, and that is a direct result of a basically southeast wind flow that we had all day today. It's still out of the east-southeast. It's 76 right now. Good evening, everyone. A few clouds around. We even have a few showers still in progress at this hour. Yes, indeed. Temperatures warmed up into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees, and that is cause for some showers and storms to pop up this evening along the sea breeze front. We have an east to southeast wind at 6. The pressure 30.04 inches. And got to look at these temperatures at this hour right here in November. 76 degrees in Sarasota. It's warm, it's muggy, and the Gulf water temperature is actually warming up now. It's at 80 degrees. 78 now in Northport, 77 in Mayaca City, 77 in Venice. Lows tonight will be summer-like into the low 70s. To start things off on our Thursday, we'll have upper 60s inland, 73 at Longboat Key, 71 in Bradenton, and Lakewood Ranch at 69. You can see this heavy rain to the north. That's a frontal boundary. And to the east of it now, east of us, we have high pressure still dominating. We're getting the southeasterly wind flow, and that is bringing us some showers and even some thunderstorms this evening. That rain's starting to wind down. Still pretty heavy rain, though, just to the east and southeast of Lakewood Ranch. We'll have much more in our forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Taylor?
Thank you, Bob. New at 11, a Charlotte County house went up in flames this afternoon. The fire quickly spreading to the bedroom, bathroom, and closet before crews could get a handle on it. A 911 caller reported white smoke coming from the roof of the Sunninglow Street home at 2:50 p.m. No one was inside the house when Charlotte County Fire and EMS arrived. Crews say the entire home was heavily damaged by smoke, but the flames were put out before they reached the attic. The state fire marshal is investigating the cause of the fire. Multiple people suspected of being involved in an illegal synthetic drug ring are in police custody. It's thanks to a combined effort by Northport Police and Sarasota County Sheriff deputies. Take a look at these images from the scene earlier today in Northport. Police tell us all of the suspects have been arrested. We don't yet know exactly how many arrests were made, but we do know police have a search warrant for a home on Kenwood Drive in Northport. This is a developing story. We will keep you updated with any new information. The search for a kidnapped North Carolina teen has now extended to Florida. 13-year-old North Carolina girl Hania Noelia Aguilar is still missing. Police say she was abducted Monday while standing outside her family's mobile home. The FBI announced Tuesday it's now offering a cash reward in exchange for information.
I also want to announce the FBI is offering a reward of up to $15,000 for information that leads investigators to the location of Hania.
Witnesses say Aguilar was taken against her will by a suspect wearing a black and yellow bandana around his face. He forced the girl into the family car, a green 2002 Ford Expedition. A neighbor made the 911 call after one of the girl's relatives ran to get help. Aguilar has black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a blue shirt with flowers and blue jeans. Dozens of children were witnesses to a fight between two mothers in Northport today. The fight broke out yesterday morning at around 7:45 at the corner of Arrow Avenue and Eager Street, just steps away from where both women live. Their kids, along with dozens of others, were waiting for their school bus to take them to Glen Allen Elementary. Neighbors say it started with some hair pulling and a few punches. Then they took it a step further, breaking a coffee mug and using it to slash each other. We spoke to one of the mothers involved.
We were both in the wrong. It should have never happened. But at the end of the day, she wasn't letting me leave that bus stop without a fight. And I had to protect my children and myself, because at the end of the day, that's what matters.
So making sure that, some of these kids who witness this, that they're getting the proper treatment, and if they need any type of support services, that's available for them.
The Northport Police Department is still trying to determine who started the fight, but the violent exchange left both women hospitalized. New details now on a fatal accident in Venice involving 4 bike riders. Troopers have released the name of the man who was killed in that crash on October 30th. Troopers say 57-year-old William Harrison died yesterday of the injuries he sustained when he was hit by a car driven by a 91-year-old woman. 2 of the other 4 bicyclists are still at Sarasota Memorial Hospital, and a third has been discharged. The accident happened along Center Road in Venice. Troopers say the riders were in the outer bicycle lane heading east. They were switching over to the left lane when they were struck. This accident is still under investigation. Another accident involving a bicyclist in Venice. This one happened this morning on Capri Isles Boulevard and Waterford Drive, where a man was hit by a truck. Witnesses say that the driver took off and the man was taken to Sarasota Memorial Hospital for treatment. Venice police are still looking for the driver.
As you can see from the bike, it's not like as if the truck actually ran over the bike by the looks of things, and it didn't stop, which is a shame, which is a real shame. I hope they find the person that did it, or he hands himself in.
Venice police say this is an ongoing investigation. Venice police giving residents the opportunity to get rid of any unwanted firearms this morning. The department hosting its first annual Lock It or Leave It event, giving anyone the opportunity to drop off any guns or other firearms with no questions asked. They also gave out gun locks for free. Police say they started this campaign to help remove unwanted weapons from the community to make sure they don't fall into the wrong hands. A group of important employees at the Manatee County Sheriff's Office are now better protected. The Manatee Kennel Club presented approximately $14,000 for the purchase of their newest patrol canine, Phantom, a 19-month-old Belgian Malinois.
You know that our dogs are very important to us. They are part of our family. Unfortunately, we've lost 2 retired dogs this year, and it still hurts us when they pass.
Canine Phantom has already been training with his handler, Deputy Keith Sutton. He should be ready to hit the streets by the beginning of next year. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is hosting its 2nd annual holiday toy drive. The toys will go to the 12th Judicial Circuit of Florida's Guardian Ad Litem program. Currently, there are more than 1,500 children from Sarasota, Manatee, and Charlotte counties who have been removed from their homes because of abuse or neglect. The children range in age, so the sheriff's office is focusing on toys and gift cards. The drive starts Saturday, December 1st and ends Saturday, December 15th. You can drop off donations at the agency's headquarters every day between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. The address there is 6010 Cattle Ridge Boulevard in Sarasota. Well, straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be right back with the first alert forecast. Plus, the stakes were high in yesterday's midterm elections. But did you hear about the dead guy who won a race in Nevada? We'll show you all of the quirky election news you may have missed. And why Bill Nelson says the fight for senator isn't over just yet.
Investigate TV tackles the tough topics.
What happened to my life was awful.
When your health is compromised, we investigate.
They are really drug dealers in white coats.
Corporate greed exposed.
How do you trust them to run this program?
The powerful held accountable with in-depth journalism led by award-winning journalist Lee Zurich. We're your watchdog. Search Investigate TV on your Roku device. Download it now.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Ghetto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Ghetto location near you or visit Ghetto.com.
Ghetto's got it.
Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Hi, I'm Chef Alan, and watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up our most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix to sample, pick up the recipe card, and all the ingredients.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Says Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
Utility companies in the Florida Panhandle now say all power has been restored in the counties devastated by Hurricane Michael. That is, where it could be restored. The Public Service Commission says yesterday was the first time in almost a month that utility companies reported 0 outages. Michael slammed into Florida's Panhandle on October 10th and also impacted Georgia, the Carolinas, and Virginia. Almost 400,000 people lost power in Florida after the storm. That's good news.
Yeah, it's got to get better up there. Obviously, they've been working hard to get that restored, and like you said, some places are going to take a lot longer because everything was wiped out, but everyone that can is back online. That's good news there. Good news, too, by the way, good coverage last night at the Republican Hyatt there, the Republican Watch Party. That was great. You're losing your voice a little bit.
I know.
So many live shots for us. We had some pretty warm weather today. I tell you, it's still feeling like summer out there in some cases and acting like it, too, with afternoon and evening thunderstorms developing. Not a lot, but there were a few. Holmes Beach webcam showing pretty nice sunset there. And as Rick Adams reported earlier, the red tide is patchy, but it is strong in some areas. And right there, it doesn't appear to be too strong. A lot of folks out there enjoying the sunset this evening at Holmes Beach. Well, let's get to the weather and show you what's going on. This is a frontal boundary, a stationary front that's still hanging right there. Quite a bit of activity from South Carolina stretching through Georgia and into the panhandle of Florida tonight. That activity is not going to move much. It's going to stay there. It's not going to be a big factor for us. What we'll see is this activity moving from the southeast to the northwest. And as that air does that, it will heat, and with a little bit of moisture in the atmosphere, it'll kick off some showers and storms in the afternoon once again tomorrow, like we saw today. These showers are winding down now. We don't expect a lot more rain. We did get quite a bit. In fact, some areas estimated up to 2 inches of rain. There's one lone shower there just east of Lakewood Ranch along Fruitville, pushing off to the northwest, but it is dying out. We had some rain in Venice, had some showers in Northport earlier as well. All that activity associated with the sea breeze front and then outflow boundaries. You can see one right there kind of diving off and creating this bigger storm that generated the lightning. It moves right into it, caused a little bit more intensity, but now just one shower left from that activity near Fruitville Road east of I-75, and a few showers I mentioned near Siesta Key, and 1 or 2 lone showers off the coast of Venice and Osprey at this point. The rainfall totals I mentioned, look at this, 2.5 estimates right there in central Manatee County, and that's what you would normally see during a summer afternoon thunderstorm, about 2.5 inches. And that's what we got. Not as much down south near Port Charlotte, estimated about 0.5 of an inch there. Not much in Braden at all, or Anna Maria Island. Temperatures currently at this hour, pretty warm, mid to upper 70s. This is very warm for this time of year. There's not a big factor when it comes to heat. The Gulf water temperature at 80 degrees. Forecast tomorrow will start off warm into the low 70s. We'll warm up into the mid 80s. The feels like temperature will be close to 90 degrees in the afternoon, especially inland areas where highs will be a few degrees warmer than we showed you right there. The wind forecast, all important in determining the impacts of red tide. If you go in the afternoon, you're going to get a west coast sea breeze developing, so that will be a factor. But during the morning hours, we'll have that east wind generally through Friday. But then by the weekend, that wind is starting to shift off to a northwesterly direction as a result of a cold front coming down. Now, the first front is not going to be all that strong. It's the second one that comes down next Tuesday that's going to bring the big chill our way. But the weather forecast, I mentioned a few afternoon and evening showers are possible. Just not a lot of rainfall over a widespread area, but there could be some isolated areas could get more. There's the front. By Friday evening, it's over the panhandle. It comes into our area on into Saturday. You'll notice still a chance for a few mainly inland storms on in through Friday afternoon. Currently, we have some clouds, 76, and the relative humidity way up there, 91%. Winds are out of the east-southeast. The high today did manage to get to 85 degrees at the airport, 90 the record. And as far as the cool down goes next week, we are looking for low temperatures on in through Thursday morning, upper 40s, right there, 48 degrees, the anticipated low on Thursday morning, next Thursday. For boaters, pretty smooth conditions out there, seas running 2 feet or less. The extended forecast then, calling for warm weather, well above average through Friday. Front comes in on Saturday, a few more clouds around, a slight chance for showers, and then we start to cool down. Better chances for that next front to bring us some rainfall, and then cooler for Wednesday. Taylor?
Thank you, Bob. From a dead man who won in Nevada to the brunch bill in Georgia, CNN's Lunda Kincaid shows us the interesting results of Tuesday's U.S. midterm elections.
Tuesday's midterm elections in the U.S. were full of surprises. One race proving you don't even have to be alive to win. Dennis Hoff, a Nevada brothel owner and reality TV star who died last month, won Nevada's 36th Assembly District. Hoff, who ran as a Republican, beat Democratic challenger Lucia Romanoff by more than 7,000 votes. Felony indictments were also not a hurdle for 2 Republican congressmen, Chris Collins of New York and Duncan Hunter of California, both winning. With Democrats taking the House and Republicans holding the Senate, it can be hard to figure out where America's head is. Sometimes you have to look at the state and local level to learn about America's priorities, like a few quirky amendments also on the ballot. In the state of Colorado, a referendum was passed to remove language from the state constitution that allowed forced prison labor without pay. Believe it or not, more than a dozen states technically still allow involuntary servitude as a form of criminal punishment. In Georgia, the so-called brunch bill or mimosa mandate passed. Restaurants will now be allowed to start serving alcohol on Sundays from 11 a.m. rather than the current time of 12:30 p.m. Pink was the color of the day in Nevada. The majority there voted to strike down the pink tax on feminine hygiene products. They'll be exempt from sales tax through to 2028. And baked into the ballot in Michigan was a measure allowing recreational marijuana use for people over 21. But don't light up just yet. Marijuana won't be commercially available there for sale until 2020. And one of the weirdest ballot initiatives was in Florida. Voters there passed a referendum banning offshore drilling and vaping in one amendment. The state put together two completely unrelated issues, one prohibiting offshore oil and gas drilling, and the other banning the use of e-cigarettes in indoor workplaces, both approved. From ballot bundling to brunches and even the election of a dead brothel owner, 2018 is now one for the history books.
Democratic Senator Bill Nelson of Florida wants a recount. The longtime incumbent is running for re-election against Republican Governor Rick Scott. In Florida, recounts are triggered when the margin of victory is less than 0.5%. A spokesman for Scott responded to Nelson's request in a statement. He says, quote, "Nelson is desperately trying to hold on to something that no longer exists." Nelson's statement said his campaign intends to have observers watching for anything out of the ordinary during the tally in all 67 counties. We have a complete rundown of the election results on our website. Just go to mysuncoast.com. Right on our front page, you can find a list of races with official winners and the amendments that passed here in Florida. A Florida man recently took a dangerous dive. Visitors at the St. Augustine Animal Farm are trying to understand how and why this man, caught on camera, put himself between a croc and a hard place. Authorities say the man broke in and spent hours wandering around. At one point, he jumped into a pit full of crocs and was attacked.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. How could somebody be so stupid?
He escaped alive and eventually fled the scene. Ironically, it was a Crocs shoe he left behind that tipped off police. He was eventually picked up and is now facing multiple charges. Consumer News is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Tonight, I bet Kimmel's all new. Let's put our money on him. Find out what Melissa McCarthy's been up to.
Just wearing cat vests.
Plus, the hilarious Dennis Miller.
Honey, baby, let me finish.
And the Milk Carton Kids perform. Jimmy Kimmel Live, new tonight on ABC.
I heard about the Tolley Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Tolley Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Tolley Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
Your child's classmate.
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry. You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore two hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
There's an update to the ongoing beautification project in downtown Venice. In an effort to speed up its completion, the contractor has hired an additional crew. Starting tomorrow, crews will be removing the curbs, installing tree cells, and replacing the sidewalk on the 200 block of westbound West Venice Avenue. This means anyone driving through the area should expect delays. Westbound West Venice Avenue will be closed from just west of Nokomis Avenue to Nassau Street. Motorists will be able to use Nokomis Avenue to Tampa Avenue as a detour during this closure. Well, there's a new flight launching out of Tampa, but it's not your typical commercial service. Tomorrow, Southern Airways Express is launching a new kind of flight to West Palm Beach. The 9-seat Cessna 208 Caravan aims to give passengers a more private plane type of experience. It will operate out of the Signature facility, meaning passengers will be able to bypass the terminal check-in process and TSA. The first flight from West Palm Beach arrives tomorrow just before noon. It's a 1 hour and 20-minute flight time to West Palm Beach from Tampa. This flight will operate up to 3 times a day. Bill Gates used a very gross prop in his pitch for a new toilet technology to help solve the world's sanitation problems. While hosting the reinvented Toilet Expo in Beijing yesterday, the Microsoft founder held a jar of human feces in his hand. According to the World Health Organization, about 2.3 billion people still do not have basic sanitation facilities like toilets. For the past 7 years, teams have been competing in the Reinvent the Toilet Challenge to develop waterless toilets. To compete, toilets had to cost less than 5 cents a day to operate and work without external power or running water. Gates notes production of the toilet is in its initial phase, and they won't be available in the poorest areas for at least a decade. The type of smartphone you own could define you, according to a recent survey. Slick Deals, a crowdsourced shopping platform, found iPhone users make more money and spend more of it on clothes, cosmetics, and technology. They also tend to be more social. The study authors suggest people who own iPhones tend to be happier than Android owners based on both groups' general outlook and personality traits.
And it's gorgeous.
Samsung is set to launch its new foldable phone. The Infinity Flex display is part pocket-sized flip phone, part tablet. The phone unfolds like a book to reveal a tablet-sized screen inside. Samsung did not attach a price to the device and would only say it would be out sometime next year. That's a look at our consumer news. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers straight ahead.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Be a Hard Walk hero. I'm Scott Dennis. Join ABC7 and the American Heart Association for the 2018 Suncoast Heart Walk. It's Saturday, November 10th at J.D. Hamill Park. Walk with us to help raise funds to fight heart disease and stroke. Your support will help us advance life-saving breakthroughs that will keep more hearts beating. We can't save lives without your help. Register for free and walk with us to have fun and help hearts. For more information, visit suncoastheartwalk.org.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Take a look at this. This mysterious object spotted tumbling through our solar system last year may have been an alien spacecraft sent to investigate Earth. At least that's what astronomers from Harvard University suggest in a research paper. We may never know if they are correct. What we do know is the mysterious object is the first object ever seen in our solar system that is known to have originated elsewhere.
And they can tell by the orbit, I guess, too. You know, it went around the sun and actually gained speed or something, I heard, which is not supposed to happen. So this is a little unusual, right? Yeah. We don't know, right? We're going to see what happens with that. We know what's going to happen with our weather, though. It's going to be another warm day tomorrow with highs in the mid to upper 80s.
Yay, good weather.
You like that warm weather?
Yes, thank you, Bob.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us. Have a lovely rest of your evening.
Good night.